Well, good afternoon. I will call the Community Services Subcommittee meeting to order. Item number 2 is our disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. Seeing none. Item 3 is our delegations, for which we have none scheduled. Item 4 is a report of our Director of Community Services, with item 4.1 being our discussion on the golf course 2022 budget and fee schedule. I do believe that we have the president of the Stratford Municipal Golf Course, Terry Adair, joining us to provide us with some information. I just asked the city clerk to see if Terry's able to join in on this.
Through the chair, we are working to connect Mr. Adair. Mr. Adair, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Great.
Can you hear me?
You can. Thanks, Terry.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Terry, you're up. If you want to give us a little bit of insight into the golf course 2022 budget, please.
Yeah. So last year we had a good year. COVID obviously hindered along with all the other businesses. And really what we've done, and same as we've done in the prior years, is just did a 4% inflation on memberships, green fees. The one thing that never really has been bumped in about, I think, 3 to 4 years was the beer price. That's went up a little bit. But other than that, everything's kind of stayed the same year in and year out. Everything's kind of, for the most part, the same. We got the lawn bowlers in. That's starting to kind of get settled in, going pretty well, and their expenses are the same as it was the prior years. So the only real difference that we're seeing from past years is just we put a 4% increase on membership and green fees.
Great. Just a quick question that I have for you, Terry, is how,
yep.
I know you mentioned that COVID obviously has had an impact on everybody. How was it in terms of keeping to your budget in 2021?
Well, we were shut down. We got really good weather, so we were able to open on the 3rd week of March last year, but then we got shut down until I think it was pretty much the May long weekend. So that was pretty good, but we had, with all the other sports really being closed for a long time, we had a number of family memberships and junior memberships from kids that were not in other sports. So our memberships were as high as they've really ever been last year. We don't expect the same amount of memberships just from conversations with other parents saying, you know, my kid will be playing travel baseball next year or travel soccer, whatever it may be. We won't be members next year. This was just something with everything else being closed and golf being one of the activities you could do that they jumped in and had memberships.
Okay. Councillor Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just going to ask, how do you, it's got course improvements of 30,000. What kind of improvements are you planning, Terry?
We are going to do we're planting some trees and extending the driving range net. One of the things that we haven't done is because the driving range had to move forward a number of yards to allow the lawn bowlers to come in. We need to make improvements to extend our net because the golf ball is going a little bit further. So we've planted some trees. We've done that. Just the netting cost is a lot. And the other thing is we're improving our irrigation system just for the water. We've actually already started the process. We've ran into a couple of hiccups just with some theft of the copper underneath and people walking through the golf course and stealing the irrigation heads off the golf course right now. So we've removed all that. But yeah, those are the projects that we're working on right now.
Thank you. Councillor Burback.
Thank you. Hi, Terry. Thanks for your report. It's great to hear that people are being active during the pandemic and that golf is one way to do it. When I look at the budget, the only thing that really concerns me, not really about the economics, but more about the environment, is the use of pesticides. And I'm just going to make a comment to encourage you and the folks at the golf course, if there's any way that you can swap out for more environmentally friendly methods, it would be really great to see, and possibly some savings on the budget as well. And I'm really glad to hear that you're planting more trees because that will also help environmentally. Thanks.
I can answer actually on the pesticide thing. We actually, Kyle Broadhagen, who's the manager and has this pesticide license, we met with the Ontario Pesticide Company at the start of, I think it was the start of December. So what they do is they come in and basically they want to make sure all the pesticides are kept properly. He's licensed properly, and they were actually introducing a more, I guess it's not really a more cost efficient way. It's a more environmentally friendly thing, but it does cost more. But it's something that we are looking into. Our next board meeting is not until March. We don't usually have one January and February, and that's something that's on the budget on the board's list of things that's going to happen. Is looking to we're going to increase our cost probably on the pesticide, but at the same time it's going to be a little bit more environmentally safe.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for the update. And yeah, I would encourage you to go that direction for sure. Thanks.
Thank you.
Councillor Henderson.
Yes, I don't know if this is feasible or not, but the festival has never used pesticides. I mean, for many, many years. I was involved with the group called Groundswell here in Stratford, and that was 97 or anyway, and way back then they were not using pesticides. And and their lawns are beautiful. So I'm sure it would work for the golf course. And I'm sure there's other golf courses that have already switched. Truthfully, I never realized you were using pesticides. I thought the city wasn't using them. So that would be great if you can switch to that.
Yeah, it's a lot more for the greens because it's a different type of grass because it's cut so small. That's basically where a lot of the pesticide is used.
Yeah, that is a problem when you cut your grass short, for sure. Because it should be about 3.5 inches. So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. If there's no further questions or comments on the budget, we do have a staff recommendation that the 2020 municipal golf course budget and fee schedule be approved as presented. Moved by Councillor Clifford. I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you so much. Thank you, Terry, for your time.
Thank you, Chair. Have a good day, everyone.
Well, our next item is department update. David has provided us with some information as to what's been going on in community services. I could turn it over to the director to share if he has any other additional comments he'd like to make.
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, I don't have a lot to add. As you know, we're closed. Most of our sports facilities, or all our sports facilities, are closed. The bathrooms at the Almond are still available, and of course, you know that the testing center and the vaccination center is still at the Rotary Complex. The Agriplex is still being used for the market on Saturdays, and apart from that, we're not open. Starting Monday, school will be back in, so our transit department will again run our school specials. And hopefully January 26th, the Ontario will lift their regulation, and we'll be back open for business in our sports facilities. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Is there any questions for our director? Okay. Seeing none. Item 6 is the advisory committee and outside board minutes that were provided for you. And item 7, our next subcommittee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February the 17th at 4:30. And at this time, I accept the motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Burbach, all in favor? And that is carried. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.